All right, Section 146 is the Drug War Restorative Justice Office. I'm going to try and share my screen here again. The drug war has caused a lot of harm, and so some of the funds that are raised from the tax on the sale of recreational drugs goes to the Drug War Restorative Justice Office to try and make things right. And it'll be under the Office of Justice Programs, under the Attorney General. And their functions would be to the reinvestment grant program, which is 3 percentages that I talked about earlier. So 15% to administering services for individuals most adversely impacted by the war on drugs, including job training, reentry services, literacy programs, youth recreation or mentoring programs, and health education programs, using this tax to offset some of the societal harms caused by drug use. Second thing is administering substance use treatment services in a consistently effective manner for any individuals who request such services. So it's got to be done in an effective way. You can't just throw money at organizations and say, here, promise to try and treat people. They'll need to demonstrate their effectiveness in doing so. And the third thing, 10% of the money from the tax on recreational drugs will go to administer legal aid for civil and criminal drug offenses, including expungement of drug convictions. The other responsibilities and duties of function of the Drug War Restorative Justice Office would be to rebalance those percentages from time to time to better serve the needs as things go on. You can imagine, the more states that choose to opt into legalization, taxation, and regulation, the more money that will be coming in. And so we can rebalance it. The way it's set up right now, the top priority is making sure that treatment services are available to anyone who wants them or needs them. If there's so much money coming in that we get a handle on that, then that money can be redistributed in other ways. But that's intended to be the top priority to address the harm that drug use can cause. The office would also be responsible for submitting a draft legislation that would better implement the provisions of this section, including any other repeals of any provisions of law that might be mixed into the United States Code that haven't been fixed. So 147 is rulemaking authority. The Department of the Treasury, the Department of Justice, and the Small Business Administration will make rules for the operating procedures and things for businesses that are going to opt into a national framework for legalization. When it comes to regulating the purity, quality, and the labeling on recreational intoxicating products, the FDA would be responsible for doing that not later than 1 year after the date of enactment of this act. 148 deals with expungement, and as we try and address the harms caused by 50 years of the drug war, there are a lot of people who, as Michelle Alexander talks about in the new Jim Crow, have been saddled with drug convictions that carry can carry consequences. And so this section will expunge any completed sentences for federal drug crimes. It'll be done within 1 year from the date of enactment. If you have to have completed your criminal justice sentence, no longer being on probation, parole, supervised release. But if it's all done, then it's automatic that it'll be expunged. Once that's done, the effective expungement is that you can treat the arrest, conviction, or adjudication as if it never occurred and shall be immune from any civil or criminal penalties related to perjury, false swearing, or false statements for failure to disclose such arrest, conviction, or adjudication. Some districts and some states and things have passed ban the box laws so that employers can't ask about criminal records on initial applications, so that people who are rejected for previous convictions off the bat can have an opportunity to be better heard and make their pitch why they're the best candidate for the job. Expungement makes that even better in addressing these problems by being able to say that you had not been convicted of a drug crime that's repealed under this section. And those records would also be sealed. And I think that I think that concludes my testimony for Section 148.
I have a question. You said this only applies to completed sentences. People can legally say they've never been convicted of a drug offense. What about people who haven't completed their sentence? Will they get that same protection when they are released?
Yeah, let me try to share on the screen again here. So no, they will not automatically get that same protection. I guess I should say that people who are currently incarcerated for a federal drug crime, when this goes into effect, would not be automatically released. They would just have the opportunity for a sentence review with a rebuttable presumption that they should be released, but it wouldn't be automatic. We'll get into that when in Section 162, I believe. But in this case, they would have to petition the court for expungement if they didn't hit the deadlines to have it done automatically under this section. And then then the court shall expunge the adjudication or conviction and any associated arrests assuming that they meet the definitions under this chapter. So they'd have to ask for it, and then it would be automatic at that point. We didn't talk too much about whether or not the war on drugs should be ended, because it's a pretty well established that it should be. So I hope getting into some of the details of exactly how we can do it, this legislative package will help persuade people that the time now's the time to act and get it done.